Let's talk about the adverb quite. Specifically, the North American use of quite and the UK or British use of quite. What are the differences? And what do I say? So, if you want to learn English grammar, stay tuned. Hi guys, just a short interruption. Please take a second and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Okay, thanks so much. Back to the video. Okay, everyone, how to use quite. UK versus North America. Let's get started. The adverb quite is very common in English. However, it is used differently in the UK and in North America. This difference affects the meaning of the idea being expressed by the speaker. Generally speaking, in the UK, the adverb quite means fairly or somewhat. For example, if a British person says that the movie she just watched is quite good, well, it means she thinks the movie is okay or fairly good, not great. Understand? So in UK English, quite good means okay, fairly good, so-so. However, if you want a more advanced explanation of how the word quite is used in the UK, well, we have to talk about adjectives, specifically gradable adjectives and ungradable adjectives. If you watched my last video, I discussed gradable and ungradable adjectives. You can watch that video here. I suggest you do. Okay, but let's quickly review gradable and ungradable adjectives. Again, my other video has much more explanation and examples. So, adjectives that can be made stronger or weaker are called gradable adjectives. For example, it's very cold outside today. Stronger, very cold. It's not very cold outside today. We can change the degree of the adjective cold. Understand? Adjectives that cannot be made stronger or weaker are called ungradable adjectives. For example, it is impossible for man to fly. Like Superman. Obviously, we can fly in helicopters and planes, right? But to fly like Superman, it's impossible. This is ungradable. Flying is either possible to do or it is impossible to do. There's no in between. It's possible or impossible. That's it. So there is no such thing as very possible or very impossible. It doesn't exist. It's not logical. Okay? In the UK, Quite means fairly or somewhat when used with gradable adjectives. For example, the weather is quite nice today. This means the weather is fairly pleasant. The weather is moderately pleasant. In the UK, when quite is used with verbs such as like, enjoy, understand, and agree, the meaning can change depending on the context, on the situation. So in the UK, if someone says, I quite like your friend Mark, well, this means I like him to some degree, to some degree. Or I like him up to a point. Or I like him in a way. Or Mark is okay. He's fairly cool. He's not amazing, right? Another example. I don't quite understand what you mean. Well, this means I have some problems understanding. Or I'm a bit confused. If I say, I quite agree with you, well, this means I completely agree. I totally agree. If I say, I don't quite agree with you, this means I have some problems agreeing with you. Or I somewhat agree. I agree up to a point, no more. In the UK, quite means completely or totally when used with ungradable adjectives. Ungradable. For example, they gave you the wrong size coat. You are quite correct to want a refund. If you watched my last video about gradable and ungradable adjectives, this was an example I gave. But I didn't use quite, so hopefully you watched that video. Okay, what does this sentence mean? It means you are totally correct to want a refund. You are completely right. What if I say, your behavior is quite ridiculous right now? Well, this means your behavior is completely ridiculous. What you are doing is totally ridiculous. You are acting in an utterly ridiculous way. These are all different ways to say the same thing. Okay, now let's talk about North American English. In North American English, quite means very, really, or to a significant degree, to a high degree, a lot. For example, in North America, if I say, the weather is quite nice today, what does it mean? Fairly nice? Okay? No, that's British. In North America, it means the weather is very pleasant. I quite like your friend Mark. Does it mean Mark is so-so? He's okay? No. In North American English, it means I like him very much. Or I really like him. He's cool. In the UK and in North America, quite can be used with quantifiers to emphasize the amount of something. Quantifiers such as a lot, a bit, and some. For example, he made quite a lot of money on the stock market last year. This means he made more than a lot of money. If I say he made quite a bit of money on the stock market last year, this means he made quite a lot. More than a lot. Crazy, right? Yes. So, quite a bit and quite a lot, they are the same meaning when you use quite. But with normal quantifiers, a bit and a lot are not the same, right? A bit, a lot. But if you use quite, they are the same. Why? English is crazy. Another example. It took you quite some time to arrive. Quite some time. What does this mean? It means it took you a lot of time. You're probably late. Okay, what are the key points to remember? The British meaning of quite is often used to downplay or reduce a positive quality, implying something is fairly, somewhat, not completely, or a little bit. On the other hand, North American quite is usually used to emphasize a positive quality, closer to really, very, or to a significant degree. So British English, downplay. North American English, emphasize. Understand? Okay. What do you think? Did you quite like this video? North American English means, yes, I quite liked it, or I liked it a lot. UK English, yes, I quite liked it. It means, it was fairly good. Well, let me know what you think down below and your ideas for any future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you learned something, and subscribe to the channel for more free English content in the future. My name is Liam. This is Grammar Simple, the channel that makes English grammar simple. I will see you in a future video. Bye for now.